G'day guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and I've got William Chang, Panda Man with me, and we are doing episode 2 on the Tamiya TT-02 build.
TT-02.
This is the Mercedes-Benz CLK AMG. Something quite dear to my heart. If you did see episode 1, thanks for watching, and I'm sure that you realise that we didn't follow the instructions quite as well as we could have. But nonetheless, we ended up with a really good product. So, let's continue on with the build. Episode 2. And I think we should have this one knocked off in another half an hour or so. What do you reckon?
Shouldn't take too long.
We do have to do some fiddly bits like putting the radio in. And we're going to have the binder receiver. So, all valuable steps there that we can take along the way.
Exactly.
Okay, so where are we up to, Panda Man?
So, we haven't lost our position on the manual. I think it's down to the boing boing bits.
Yep.
Little spring holders.
I want to call them shock absorbers or damper units, but they're definitely not. They are, in fact, just spring retainers.
So, probably, if you're looking at upgrading your car for track use and all that, what a good set of oil shocks.
It's probably the first thing you want to do, and it's funny because Tamiya makes some of the best dampers in the business. They absolutely do. Are they called TRF shocks?
Yeah, TRF alloy shocks. You can get different versions. They've got the traditional one with the threaded body, and then they've got the new, the wider versions?
Is it?
What do you call it?
I have no idea.
They've got aeration as well, for what it's worth. But
in their on-road shocks as well?
Yeah.
There you go. I prefer bladders in my shocks.
Exactly. It's easier to tune sometimes.
It's more consistent, easy to tune, easy to build. Am I cutting the right parts off? I'm not really. I nearly took a chunk out of my finger there. Did you see that with my God hand nippers?
Well, they're definitely sharp.
I'm glad you didn't catch that on camera. You probably can't see them with the blue nippers over the blue mat.
So is that an act of God if you use God hand snippers?
Yep. That's right. No insurance is going to pay that, are they?
Afraid not.
Okay, I think that is shock absorbers.
Okay, you got enough for 4?
I've got enough for 4 now. It's been a while, so let me just have a quick. So I've got to take I can get the car out of the way for the minute.
Yep.
So I've got the lower part. Oh, we'll put the. I've got the cylinder and I've got the body. Yeah. Let's get the parts laid out. So I've got the top cap with the flat facing here. I've got the cylinder like so. Mm-hmm. Then I can put the clip on.
The clip holds it in. There's no hardware.
And the clip holds it all together. Like so. Yeah.
Yep. And
then it's a matter of.
Do we have?
Is that right?
Is there a spacer ring?
There is a spacer ring. Yeah. Put it in and then turn it 90 degrees.
That's right, and locks it in, and that's it. Done.
That is the easiest shock absorber you'll ever build on an RC car, isn't it?
And it actually holds together, and it does the job of holding the car up.
And it gives them quite a dynamic feel. I actually enjoy driving them. They're not the best to drive, but they're definitely not the worst.
They're not the worst.
If you keep the standard 540 motor in there, the Mabuchi that comes with them, I think it adds a good character to the car.
Some people do add different greases to try and put some damping in between the piston and the.
I think that would just make a mess.
Just makes a mess,
I'm not prepared to deal with.
Consistent. So it depends on what the racing rules say. If you're going to race in something that's totally controlled, usually you can't touch it. But if you're trying to race that in an open category, you would put the best TRF shocks, TRF arms. What else would you put?
No.
Coloured chassis.
Coloured chassis? No, you wouldn't.
Actually, you wouldn't start from a kit, would you? You just throw the kit away.
There you go. That is the quickest RC shocks you will ever build.
Well, I think it'll take you longer to actually screw them onto the car.
So, what screws do I need? Can you pass me some screws,
We've got
please,
the famous
Panda Man?
Tamiya step screws.
Step screws. I think my frog's got these, and these go in on the front. Do they go in the lower position?
Lower position and upper on the arm.
Upper on the arm.
So inner on the
shock tower, and upper on the arm.
And just a bit of caution, there is 2 different sizes of step screw.
So you're giving me the right ones?
I hope so, because there's only 2 of the other ones. I think they're for the steering.
Hope you're not setting me up here. Hey?
So 2 of them.
As I stab myself in the hand.
It's definitely a gist screwdriver.
Well, this is actually a Tamiya screwdriver, this one.
It is.
It's been with me since my very first TT-01 build. My very first Tamiya build was in fact a frog, which was about a year ago, and then since then I've built a couple of TTOs. 2 TT-01s.
The frogs definitely have been around, what, 40 years?
And the TTOs, and 3 TT-02s. The frog, yeah, the frog has been around since, what, 83. Do you know that it was the 1984 German national champion? I don't know who was piloting it, but...
I'm not sure if it's a frog or the... Because the Brat actually came out first, the Subaru Brat, which is the same chassis.
That actually just come back into stock today.
Yeah, but that one, when Tamiya released it originally, that had no diff, that had no oil shocks on the back.
Really?
Well, it had no oil shocks at all because there's no shocks in the front, and had a spool in the back.
Really?
Yeah, so it didn't have a diff, and I think that was what, 1982, 80?
The Sand Scorcher never had a diff, did it?
Not until recently, no.
Oh, does the re-release have one? Where's my screws?
Optional.
No, so when you buy a re-release Sand Scorcher, does it come with a diff?
Don't think so, because it comes in a there's a bold diff option set.
Oh, okay.
Which sometimes I'm not even sure they did keep re-releasing that.
Just attaching these shocks now. Same positions in the rear as the front, I'm assuming.
That's
You can't assume with a Panda at the helm and the instructions.
Then again, these instructions are generic, isn't it? Yep, same.
Front and back.
Yep.
Make things a lot easier, don't they? They really are. It's such a simple, classy build. Even for an experienced modeler or a hardcore racer, it's quite a palate cleanser to, I don't know, to build something like this.
Well, the best thing with all this plastic is that you'll never get carbon fiber splinters, isn't it?
Well, it's probably true. You don't get carbon fiber anything.
Well, carbon fiber splinters are the most sharpest and painful thing you can stab your finger with.
There you go. The shocks are on.
Shocks are on.
We'll call them shocks.
All
What have
right.
we got?
Next step is the steering links.
The steering links. And for some reason, it's one of my least favourite jobs on builds.
It is
Steering
finicky.
linkage. What parts do I need, Panda? Here are some part numbers.
B11, B12,
B11.
and you probably want your soft jaw pliers.
B11. No, not D. That's the D part tree. B11, B12.
And
Ah, we've got some balls.
2 A3s.
Yeah, so I got the bally things, yeah?
Yep.
Now you don't want to lose these because I don't think they give any spare, do they?
I think it's just 2 each.
And they're probably likely to bounce away. There's 3 on each part tree, and I reckon we'll need 6. No need to polish them. That just adds to the steering linkage.
That's what you should leave too much of a nub because they do run inside them. Isn't it?
They do, but they're just a press fit.
It's a pretty hard press fit.
Is it?
I think we need pliers on this one.
We could well do. Let me have a look what I can do for you. Just cutting these parts off. Okay. Oh, look, I've left a bit of a burr there. Let's take my 9 steps knife and cut my finger. You've never... I don't think you actually built a model or a car unless you put your own blood, sweat and tears into it. Have you? Literally.
That's what we keep super glue for, isn't it? Best first aid ever.
Often. There you go.
That's one way.
Now I am doing this right, aren't I?
Only goes in one way.
What do I do with the other 2 balls?
Both ends.
Yep.
How many balls you got?
There's 4 balls. Where do these ones attach? Well, these attach onto A3, do they? Is that what I can see?
Or they might have given you spares.
Spare balls? Doubt it.
I don't see where extra balls go.
The servo one. No? Anyway. So I've got some steering linkages here. Oh! That sounded expensive.
No, it's enough. Balls. Okay, there is a 3rd link.
Onto the servo.
D6.
Yeah. Okay, so what do I do here? I've got my links.
Alright.
Do I screw them onto the chassis?
Links onto the arms.
Links onto the arms. And there's dots on them or something, is there?
There is a direction. There's one with a ridge to the back, I think.
Ridge to the back. Like that.
So away from the ball.
Like that. There we go. And that's just a M3 by 12.
Yep.
Like so. Like so. Okay. The engineering here is absolutely phenomenal, and I've said it before and I will probably say it again. It's a thing of beauty. It just works.
Definitely computers involved, otherwise, yeah, if you're an old-style draftsman with a technical pen, that's going to be a real nightmare.
Technical pen?
Remember technical pens?
No.
Probably my time then.
So we're going to put these here, and then I need some shafts. That one.
Shafty bits.
I'm not going to put any lubrication on there because I feel that just attracts
they just run dry.
rubbish. And being a bit of metal on plastic's okay. I don't think it's going to bind.
It'll take you a century to wear out anyway, so...
By oiling it, all you're doing is introducing dirt, which will stick to it like wet sanding paper, won't it? Exactly. And actually grind it away. Yeah.
That's it.
Now what goes on in the middle there?
That's after you stick the servo in. So
we've got to stick the servo in.
We wait till then or not?
Well, we've got a servo here. Whatever the book says.
Alright, let's jump ahead. Not like the first time we've done that. So we've got... Do you want to use the standard servo saver?
Absolutely I do. Is that the P parts tree? Is it still called a P parts tree? It is indeed.
Should we center it?
Center it? That means we're going to have to bind it.
Exactly, that's probably why we shouldn't skip ahead there.
Is it time for a cameo?
You can cameo. You could actually reach behind you.
Excuse me?
Famous reach
You
behind.
could reach around, BJ reach around and get the Rubik's World transmitter bag from behind the shelf, please, sir.
Oh,
The magic bag.
what is there stuff in here?
There's stuff in there. They're going to bind this car up with a trusty...
Really? Stuff in here?
Yep, be careful. With a trusty
Oh,
Futaba 4PX.
You're not on the screen.
I'm not on the screen.
No.
Aren't you on the screen?
People won't know that.
How's that? Is that better now?
That's better.
I might scare people. I can see my face now.
Beautiful. So there is
That's that?
the Futaba
There's
4PX.
this little thing here too.
And there is the receiver. Now that is exactly what we wanted. And we've actually got a Tamiya spec speed control. Now these kits don't come with speed controllers anymore. But this is a spare part offered by Tamiya. So I love these little... And I actually think Tamiya have copied the tried and true design of the NSR 001 speed controller by having the switch bracket on here.
Yeah, you got some big balls here.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah, they're for the steering. That was awkward.
So when is Tamiya going to copy the famous 9 steps rounded battery pack?
No, they won't.
Oh, we'll see.
They can't.
We'll see.
They can't. There'll be trouble if that goes on.
They like the LIFE batteries more than LiPos.
So, I'm just having a look here. So we want forward brake reverse, and we want to put it to LiPo. So I'm just going to change this little program plug over here, over to LiPo. We'll keep it forward, backwards, and reverse. No, we won't. We're just going to. I actually will, because I'll actually run it in on reverse. I'll keep forward, backwards, and reverse on the speed controller, and that is it programmed. Really, really cool little speed controller. I do, however, need that to power up the servo.
We have the power.
So we have the power. So we've got a 9-steps LiPo battery here, the 4200 2S battery. This is super powerful, really good. It's got the balance lead here. Tamiya style connector. Now these batteries, Panda, are available in Dean's plug and Tamiya.
Yep.
So for racing purposes, I would generally use a Dean's plug, but that will involve soldering one on to your speed controller. So in this case, we're just going to run this one because it's got a Tamiya plug on there. I'm going to go ahead, plug it in, and we've got a flashing light. So it tells me that it is in fact functional. So I'm going to plug that into my receiver here, and I've got a Futaba R314. Now it goes, I can't remember which way it plugs in, but it doesn't matter. We can't blow them up on this, but it does go in channel 2. Channel 1 to turn, channel 2 to burn. Do you remember that?
That's the one. I think where the tab goes is where the white lead is.
Where the tab goes, okay. And the white lead is commonly referred to as signal.
Right.
We'll soon see. Yep. So, now what I'm going to do here is, in fact, I'll plug the steering servo in, and this is the same wire, put that in channel 1 to turn, and I'm going to go ahead and power it up. Now we might have to bind it to my transmitter. Let's have a look here. So I have in fact pre-done a model. TT-02's on the screen. Let's see if it is in fact bound. It's not bound to that receiver. So that's a really easy thing on here. Go to receiver. We do have a digital servo, and we're going to link it on the menu. At the same time, I need my 1.5 mil. I'm going to push the button on the... So I'm going to start that one off. I'm going to push the button here to get it blinking. And that's it. We are bound.
We have communication.
How good is that? And if I plug the motor in now, we would see it working on the speed control. I can see the light there working with the throttle. And what that's allowed me to do is center the steering trim. I'm going to put it back to 0 to ensure that when we're putting the servo saver on, it is in fact in the middle point, isn't it?
That's it.
Alright, I'm going to leave it powered up for the minute, just so we can in fact put the servo saver on with it in the right position. So I'm going to follow that. I am going to follow the manual here for this one.
Yep, so we need a M3 screw. It's a metal.
So I need the screw from the servo box, if I could please, sir. Because there'll be an M3 screw here to attach the servo horn, which we have right there. That's going to be a 2mm Allen key, which of course we didn't bring to the table, did we? Have you got a 2mm Allen key there, Panda?
2.0, sir.
Beautiful. Now I have got my 25 tooth spline. Now let's assemble the servo saver. So we'll click it on here, like so. Now it does come with a 25 and a 23 tooth spline. You can't forget that washer. That is the magic Tamiya washer. What's that washer for?
Does that hold it at the top?
I'm going to put this on nice and central.
Why does it have a different...
What? Did we not use the right servo horn? It's not a P parts tree, is it? Have to go back. It's a D. It's a D10. It's not a P parts tree at all.
Ah, they've done a switcheroo on it.
The old switcheroo.
So is that a D sprue that's hiding it?
So let's follow the instructions.
That's probably a good idea.
Where is the D-sprue? Here it is.
There we go.
And that's got the 23 tooth on it as well, which we don't need. We've got a 25 tooth. I'll take the torque ring off. How good are these servo savers?
Well, they can break.
They can. Have you broken one?
What we usually do is put a tie, zip tie around it
What, when they break?
and keep racing. Well, what else can you do?
I don't break it.
It's easier said than done in M chassis class, isn't it?
2 mil. Go ahead here and got a bit of magnetism going on there. There we go. Gonna screw that bad boy on. And that is the highest 550T.
So it's what, metal gears?
Yeah, it's metal gears this one, because it is going to cope with the rigours of racing. You could put the D300 plastic gear one, but I do prefer the metal ones and ones I'm going to play with. Now you can see here that that's off a bit, but we can do that with the steering sub trim, because there's no way that you'll ever...
No, it's not going to be one step.
It's not going to be one step for all. Okay, so now we can unplug, can turn the radio gear off. I'll put that to the side.
Yep.
To make sure I don't kick it off the table. And then we can carry on with the build. But it really pays to do that, doesn't it? To center your servo.
It's one little thing that, you know, will cause you
Grief.
a lot more work to fix up later on.
Servo done.
So we need D6, which is a link. Have we got D6?
D6.
D6 is the one that holds the little balls.
This one. Ah,
The ball thing.
D6. Sorry.
Ball boy.
Did I have the parts tree D6? That's what I just had for the servo saver, didn't I?
Yeah, that was D.
That was a good little trick that I discovered here. So just sit the ball in there nice and square. Use the 5.5 mil and just press down. Bit tighter on this one.
Try the other side. Because doing Tamiya, they might have made one side bigger than the other. Yeah.
It's toy like a toiga.
Well, you've done it. As soon as it mentions a trick, it doesn't work.
That's right. It's my fault for mentioning a trick. I've got my little soft draw pliers here.
Stubborn thing.
It is very stubborn. But that said, when it's in there, it's nice and taut like a toiga.
What's your steering? You don't want it too wobbly.
So you get the nut behind the wheel.
Yeah, that's been like the main nut on a helicopter blade, isn't it? Don't
That's
want it too loose either.
Okay. What have we got now, my friend?
So we bolted together with 3x12s. One
3 by
into
12.
the back of the servo.
One into the back of the servo.
And one into the middle of the bridge.
The back of the servo. Here we go. This has taken the longest part of the build to do, isn't it? Longer than the shocks.
I reckon it's because it's not Tamiya parts we're still adding, is it?
You could be right there. Beautiful. And then you reckon into the middle of the bridge?
That's what it says.
And again from this side.
There is no direction on the bridge, so that should be good. After that is a couple of servo mounts, A12. Bit stiff.
Oh, just a little bit.
So I will wear out.
A12.
A12, two please.
Uh-huh. I thought it was an antenna mount, but no, it's a servo mount.
No, two of them.
One on each patch tree.
Actually, do they still have antennas? They probably do.
Does what have an antenna?
Some of the kits stopped giving antennas, right?
There may or may not be an antenna in this one. What have we got? I've got servo mount.
A couple of 3x8s they want.
3x8s.
With a washer. What's an 8? That's black one's probably an 8.
And it's showing on the picture a notch or something. Is it?
Yeah, you screwed onto the flat part. Top hole of the flat part.
What flat part?
That flat part.
Yeah, but which a rounded part to the top. Yeah. And 3x8s, black screws with washers.
With washers.
Oh, this is getting tricky now. They've introduced curve balls.
Exactly.
This is where things can get.
It's probably a test to see if you're still paying attention.
That's right. No?
Don't know.
Now, servo mounts are something that I don't like to do up until they're in the car. What about you?
No, I think that one should be okay to bolt down on that.
Is it just one screw on each?
Yep,
Really?
that's it.
Oh, that's why. There we go. Now, there's a little bit of foam or something that goes on the chassis here. Is that what's happening? Do I remember that somewhere? Does it go under the servo? Doesn't it go under the servo saver? I reckon it was back at the first chapter. There it is.
You're right. Sponge tape, actual size. Cut as shown.
There you go. Look, you get to do a bit of cutting.
What does it actually do?
This saves, I think, stones from getting under your servo saver.
Does it make any difference?
What do you mean?
Stone's not going to kill it.
Well, no, but it's got to be a factory Panda built car.
Factory Panda built would be totally different.
Would it?
Wouldn't be according to the manual.
Well, we've tried anyway, haven't we? Every step of the way we've fought it. What would Tamiya know? So you get to cut it to size, huh?
Well, that's the
And then
actual
just-
size, if you can.
Here you go. And then it goes here like this. There you go. Look at that. Factory.
Very factory.
It's the 1%, mate. It's the 1%. You like that? You like that?
Maybe it's a damper. Yeah, damper.
That's a damper unit for that. A vibration damper unit. What
Yeah, why
screws hold the, got some countersunker dunkers for me? One.
Another one. Yep. Okay, what are we up to?
Where are we going to drive it first? Geelong? Go racing at Geelong, you reckon?
That's a bit of a baptism by fire, is it?
What do you mean?
Geelong had plenty of poles and whatnot.
Yeah, well, it's a TTO. Exactly why you take it there. Just got to line up my servo hole. Easier said than done. Things are always harder on camera, aren't they? What do you reckon?
Well, it depends, I suppose, where you're coming from. Because at one stage, I think Tamiya was using... There's actually a builder's kit that they were selling to school children. for
A
the
builder's
TTO.
kit?
Yeah, it's like a, it can't be any simpler than what we were building, but they were selling it to the Japanese, school-going kids as a starter pack.
Maybe it had the driveline in it, the diffs. I don't know, because that's a good part of understanding, isn't it?
No, I think it was a standard kit, just minus a shell.
Do I have some hinge pins in for the steering?
What are we missing? Hang on, where's the...
What are we missing?
Step screws.
These ones?
Yep.
And then we've got to put the motor mount thing in. Is that right?
There is a bit of plastic vanity cover over it.
Over the motor?
Over the motor if you want to run a fan. You can run a fan?
No, there's a little duct that looks really cool, no?
There's a duct and a cover.
Yeah.
You can actually sandwich a fan in between, I think a 30mm fan.
Can you?
It looks like you can. Oh, sure.
No, you just put the cover on so you don't burn yourself for the kids playing with it. The big kids.
It's got a huge caution sticker on it.
Yeah, well that's so you don't lick it.
Why are we trying to lick a motor?
Why wouldn't you?
It might taste a bit funny.
No.
Yeah.
Back in a time when motors were motors. Do I have something that goes onto the steering knuckles? Well, we're not up to that yet. Do you want to put the motor thing on?
Steering knuckles should have gone in with M 3x12s.
3x12s?
3x12s, no washers. That's it.
3x12s, no washers.
Did we put little washer things under the
What did we put?
pivots?
No.
Do we have? Oh, this is
What did I do?
hiding up there. There should be pivots, as in washers between that and the chassis.
Really? That's going to be a bit awkward now. Like so? Not one on top?
No, just in between. Supposed to save on some plastic on plastic action.
That's the low friction kit we're putting in. Yeah?
Until you stump up for the blue alloy bit.
No blue alloy here, mate. This is proper Tamiya.
This is pure plastic.
So what I'm doing here is just refitting this, positioning it over very carefully. Like so. The screws go in so much better the second time. And do these go on the outer or the inner holes?
Further away from the pivot. Longest.
Like so. Look at that. We have now got a steering car.
We do.
Is that what you're saying?
Is that a 3x12?
It was once. Look at that. That is a precision machine there. Machine. I've forgotten how to talk, I'm that excited.
I don't know what this precision, but hey, he'll do the job.
It's beautiful. Alright, what next?
Alright.
Are we going to put the motor cover thing? Is that happening?
That's it. And once that's in, we glue in the receiver and the ESC.
So the motor cover goes here like this. What screws do we use?
Is that a 30mm fan hole, you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks like it. Square.
These ones go there, and these ones will hold. Is it just...
So why is it hex? Oh, it doesn't say hex, but...
Which ones hold it into the cover?
Nothing, just the two. Straight into the motor the gear cover.
Yeah, these the ones here? Alright. Yeah?
Yep. Because the switch is different to standard switch.
We won't be using the switch. We've got the special Tamiya speed controller. And then from memory, these ones go in. Where's my little bonnet scoop?
It's like a little shaker hood, isn't it?
Yeah, how cool is it? It's a beautiful little bits of detail, no?
This needs a one of those V8 sound makers.
Well, this car would have had a V8 back in its day.
Nice AMG thing, isn't it?
5.5 litre.
Now these turbo rubbish.
Sound like a dinosaur saying stuff like that.
Well, turbo's got its uses, but you know.
But yeah, I'm very fond of that 5.5 litre V8.
That's the same engine as the Pagani, or the same block anyway, is it?
The Pagani.
Slightly related. What's the original? Yeah, the Zonda.
They're all V12s. Yeah?
True. Okay, that's it. We're going to glue in the receiver and ESC.
Glue in the receiver.
Yeah! On the home stretch.
Home stretch.
Home stretch.
Do you want to do the radio gear while I get the tyres ready and the hexes?
If you like.
Looks like a car now.
It does, doesn't it? How much of a car does it look like? We've even centered the radio.
So everything's finished except for radio now.
It's your nose in the screen.
We've
Oh,
just got to
that's the
put
best
that.
bit of my whole face.
I didn't want to say that, but you're right.
How's that? Is that better now?
What
That's better.
hexes did we put?
Oh, there are different X's.
Yeah,
Oh, you got to.
What are they? Different.
I don't know.
Oh, they're different offsets.
Do you look at the
A14s.
generic thing?
Make
or
it
do you
really
look at-
wide. No?
no, I think that'll
Well,
be
was that a
for
bad
special
suggestion?
purpose. Well, I don't think it'll fit under the body. Are
Oh.
we going to get the body on today?
Actually, it depends on what axles you get. Are these? I think these are standard. They're not the long axles.
Oh, so the wide ones won't work anyway, right?
Well,
You need
they'll
to fix
go
the
on
long
the
ones.
they'll go on the frog.
What's that little motor? Like warning there now.
Caution, don't lick it. I was going to,
Oh, motor gets hot, be careful.
not to lick it.
There you go.
You burn your tongue.
Well, a tongue can be used sometimes, but
Just not when it's hot.
no. You like putting a slug on it. Alright, on that note, I'll leave you to it.
Whew. Got some wheel nut. Oh, where's the wheels? It's got wheels and tyres.
You want the receiver on top of the servo, or
Yeah.
'cause you don't want it too close to the motor? Isn't it?
Yeah, put it on top of the servos and the generic spot for it. Look at these wheels, these are beautiful. Do I have foam inserts?
Good old multi-spokes. I think those came out on the Audi A4 STW back in the 90s.
What's that?
Those wheels. Does it have a marking on it?
What marking are you looking there for,
It's
Panda?
usually a...
I'm not going to glue them up because to be honest, I'm not going to ever use.
Yep, copyright 1995, so that would be the Audi A4 TA03.
These are Mercedes wheels, mate. Don't be silly. You know full
Definitely
well.
used them a few times. It's sort of painful as an Audi wheel originally, isn't it?
No. No, Mercedes won't have it. Are you excited?
TT-02,
That's right.
coming to life.
It's really good that you've been able to find the time to join me in the studio
Pleasure.
and do a relatively simple build. I hope that the beginners out there, if your first time doing one of these kits, that you found some useful points. Probably not the fact that we followed the instructions so closely.
Well, that's a bit of a proof of concept that you could just about throw it together and not even read the instructions. Not that you should do that.
Not that you should, definitely not for a first time. And the instructions are really easy to follow if you choose to follow them. No? They have the scale parts there, you can put all the screws, each and every one of them. Now, like I said, ordinarily you would glue these tyres on, but I'm not going to use these on track.
Just for show.
These will be a shelf queen tyre because they actually are a little bit better diameter.
Not
Yep.
too bad. They got no sponge though inside. Alright, small tip with the ESCs. It's helpful to have the on position on the switch pointing forwards. That's just in case you do a hard hit.
Really?
At least it won't switch itself off.
Oh, well, if I hit something that hard, I deserve to be switched off.
Well, if your ESC ends up flying out of the car, that's the same thing as well, isn't it?
I can't believe we're up to the part where we're putting wheel nuts on this.
Not so good.
I just need one more drive pin.
So how big an RC car before the wheel nuts become unidirectional? As in one side has
Left hand and right hand threads.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Have they started that?
Don't think so. Why?
Because the real size AMG does.
Does it?
Of course. They've got, I think it's green on one side, red on the other. The big ring.
Oh, the big ring. I don't
Big
know.
ring.
I've never seen one.
Could we chop that in about 1/3 of the way?
1/3 of the way.
Oh, it'd be something to fit that.
Yeah.
That'll do. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Stick a little bit on it. Now, do we have an antenna tube or not? Yes.
There was a mount there, but do we have a tube to mount it, or it doesn't matter?
Do we have a tube to mount it? Will it be in the box?
Should be, bottom.
I have got an antenna tube for you, my friend. I don't want it to stick out of the body though.
There's a mount that goes...
Do you mind if we don't have it sticking out of the body?
So say we're going to put your little Hearns flag on it. Actually, is the body pre-cut for holes?
Yes.
Did they cut a hole for the antenna, or...?
No. Yes. No, they didn't.
Okay,
No hole for the antenna.
that's good then.
What can I do? We've got the antenna tube. Need the antenna tube mount. Where might I find that? I've got to put the bumper. I've got to put the body mounts on.
Body mounts.
It's still happening. Body mounts and wheels. Put the wheels on. Put the bumper foam. The antenna mount is somewhere further back that we've glossed over.
It's where the servo...
Yes,
Servo
D12.
mounted.
I just needed the part number. D12. These sprues are looking mightily empty.
Which is good, otherwise we'll be missing a few parts.
That is not what we would want to do. That's a B. This is a... Here we go. Here's the antenna mount. Bullet connectors. One of my least favourite things on earth.
Especially aluminum ones. I don't know why to use aluminum.
Probably because they're not lead. It's not real safe.
Well, copper would be the best conductor, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's expensive. No, it's predominantly lead and tin.
Okay, how do we tie these up? Don't bother. Stuff them in.
Just stick it under here.
Lift up.
Yeah, you just sort of shoehorn it in there a bit. Because a car with neat wiring is going to be a reliable car. Ask Tesla owners.
And some people OCD would shorten the leads until they're too short
They won't?
and resolder all the joints
Yeah.
and waste hours doing it for no...
Well, but that's the fun part, is the hours doing it. You know that as well as I do. We don't play with these toy cars for the 5-minute races that we get on track. There's a little blue tack blob somewhere. No, we need that one. Here we go. I like to use that in the interim because it actually does a really good job of holding down Yeah. I need to put this one down.
Put it to bed.
Plug in the servo. We'll come around here. You've done this before, haven't you, Panda? Wiring up a TTO. Just need to be a little bit careful of the center shaft.
So actually, the other bit of trivia with a TT-01 versus a TT-02, they've mirrored the chassis, because the TT-01's battery is on the other side.
Yes.
Don't know why they did that.
Why?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, the torque effect.
Or the motor?
I think it's all to do with the torque effect, but I wouldn't know.
Because it does rock the car on one side if it's...
Yeah, but it's just going to rock at the other side now. I don't think it's going to actually fix any problems, is it?
I suppose if you put the motor on that side, there's a bigger leverage against it, isn't it? Technically.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm happy to learn.
Is it much of a muchness?
I honestly don't know, but I'm always happy to learn. So I've got my little antenna wire here. You have to be quite cautious with these. Oh, that's a silly idea. I actually have to put the antenna in the holder before it screws on. Did you know that? It goes in from underneath.
It does a little U-turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes underneath.
I don't know, these days I don't even bother putting an antenna up.
Yeah, but you're one of the cool kids.
I just tape it up and...
The modern radios are so good.
Well, it's more like you can't even see... My eyesight's getting old.
No, it's not. Not older than a TT-02.
I've got TL ones. What's that, 30 years old?
I'm just being a little bit finicky here with this wire because I don't want to damage it.
Oh, grab use one of those. What's that for turbo with the no antenna?
Yeah,
What's
that's
it
just a little bit later than this one.
Is that for electrics or nitros, or is it the other way around?
Usually the ones without antenna they say are for electrics because they generally don't go as far away.
Because all these Futaba are, it's the same system now, isn't it? As in it'll work with all the, what, from the 10 to the 7 to the...
No, the 10PX10 does have a new operating system, which is unique to it, but it came backwards
Okay.
compatible.
So the receiver that comes with a 10
Is
only
unique.
for the 10?
Yeah, at this stage. Just don't know why that's not sitting very flat.
Is it pointing in front or...
It's not a new receiver, this one. It's been around for... It's been in lots of other cars. That's the thing about these modern radios, no? They're just so good and reliable. Look at that! The radio's in, Panda.
It's done.
Battery's in.
It's in. Where's the sticky thing in the
I
hole?
just need a little... I always put a little bit of... Lutax your friend, because you don't want to damage this
Oh yeah.
balance cord.
I tend to like to spiral wrap it.
So just put it like that. Got our battery hold in.
Battery holder, big clippies.
We've got some big clippies right here.
So these are extra bits that we definitely don't need.
Wow. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the smoke comes out. No, the smoke won't come out. Will it?
Smoke. Wheels falling off, right? So it's around this time that I like to do a bit of stock take to make sure that...
I'm too excited now just to go and play with it. No?
Well, that's one way about it.
I'm just trying to figure out the best way to put the wires in. I want to keep it away from that center shaft. There we go, look at that. Boop boop.
So the moment of truth.
It's going to be powered up together. We've got a green receiver light. Do you need to give it a kiss or something? Like, yeah? Good luck, little buddy. Steering? Can confirm.
We've got steering. Is it going the right way? Ooh,
Look at that.
Pure 540 power.
We're going the right way. Probably need to set the endpoints and everything like that. But that could be another whole episode when we get the body on.
Get the body on.
I suppose all that's left to do is put the body mounts on, put the wheels on, and we are done, huh?
I think so, yeah. Put some wheels on and...
So I probably don't need to put the body mounts on now, because the body will be a whole other episode. I can, however, put the wheels on, make it look like a car. Got some wheel nuts, the classic Tamiya box wrench, hey? How many of these box wrenches do you have, Panda?
I don't know, I think I lost count, what? Probably a couple hundred?
Are you you're obviously a collector, yeah?
We just tend to throw those little box wrenches everywhere. Actually, a good tip is...
Yes.
Throw a couple in your glove box in your car.
Okay.
Because you never know when you need a 7mm. You know, this car that you drive to a track quite often. No, your real car, your family car, what do you call it?
Yeah, so you reckon my Mack truck that I drive is going to have a 7mm?
Oh, chuck a couple everywhere.
Yeah. It's like in the first aid thing, huh? The Panda first aid kit.
Why not?
Got some wheels. Starting to look very car-like, isn't it?
It is. Actually, in a parallel universe, in Yokomo Land, what happens to all those little turnbuckle? It looks like a little baseball bat, isn't it?
Yeah, they usually break.
But somebody somewhere, especially all our Team Yokomo people, would have what, thousands of them?
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Unless they're melting it down for something.
You reckon?
I don't know.
Making new outdrives.
I've asked Matty and see what he does with this. He's probably do at least 10 cars this year, isn't it?
What have I done there?
We lost a bearing, no?
Have I lost the bearing or I haven't located the pin? I'd say I haven't located the pin.
Slip the pin. You haven't used the deeper hat, have you?
I think maybe I didn't have it located. Let's see what happens. There's nothing that you can't fix with the Tamiya wrench.
Looks a bit wobbly.
No, I think it's gold.
Good.
I think it is absolutely gold. Get our performance slick racing tyre on. How good do they look?
These are the original. Yeah, the 5222 4826s, 26-inch. They've been around for what, 30 years?
I wouldn't know. It's alive.
It's alive, the car.
And that is how quickly and easily you can build a Tamiya TT-02. Now this is a CLK AMG edition, so look forward to another installment when I fit the body posts and fit a painted body to it. Probably do a little bit of a tutorial and doing stickers as well, because that's a big part of a Tamiya kit. So I hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you for joining me, Panda Man, commonly known as William Chang.
Yep.
And we are from Hearns Hobbies, and we have just built a Tamiya TT-02.
Had fun doing it.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.